starting in as a business or doing gigs, do you remember your first paying gig and like what was that feeling like?
Yeah, I remember the first paid gig. It was a show that we curated, and we, as me and my husband, we curated a show out at a venue, Club Sayo at the time. That's what it was called, Club Sayo in Arlington. It was a nice restaurant / club, and they didn't do a lot of business there. So I don't even know how we ended up in the venue, but we did. And I'm very vocal, like I said. I was like, I'm gonna go talk to the man and see if we can't spark up a deal and do something here. And we talked about it briefly for like an hour. Just drew up a plan on a napkin, mind you, and got the attention of the owner. Asked our waiter, "Hey, is the owner here?" Somebody that controls, what goes on. Yeah, I sent him out, and it was an Asian guy. He came out. I can't remember his name. I wish I could, but he was so sweet. He was so nice. He listened to the plan and the idea, excuse me, and he was like, "This sounds pretty thorough." And I remember him saying that, and it was something that I took away. He was like, "This sounds pretty thorough," because we thought out everything. We thought out food. We thought out, okay, if he gives us the door, what would the percentage look like? If we have to meet a bar, a tab, what does that look like? Who can I invite? Who in the family drink? Because this is where it started. Yeah. Because I just had my family to lean on at that time with my first show, and we sold tickets. I put a band together. The guy told me yes. We sold tickets. We had a month to prepare for the show. I'm gonna look at him a lot, y'all.
Ain't no wrong with it.
Man, he be knowing. He keep it all up
we
there.
We done had guests that had full-blown conversations over there, so
cool,
you good.
Cool. We put it all together, got the background, got the band. Really wanted to reach out to band members who knew me and understood me, because I'm a little different. I'm a little peculiar when it come down to my sound and how I like things to form out and lay out.
As you should be.
And we had a great time. Yeah. We sold out. We packed that place out, and we made good money. We went back. I'm gonna tell them, baby. Yeah. We went back with our cash because it was our show. They paid us. We got all the money. We paid the band out, and we still had this envelope. And when we went back to a hotel, and I was like, we sneaking in, because we got all this cash on us. We was Big Bang Cake. It was our first time, and we just went in there and just threw it up.
Yeah, that's dope.
And had a good time. And
I know what good time mean, but go ahead. Y'all married, so ain't nothing wrong with it.
And we was then too.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
And I looked at him, and he looked at me, and he was like,
yeah, girl.
We not going back. Yeah, girl, we not going back. Like, we knew from then on that we had a formula. And that was we was gonna ride it to the sunset.
And this is the first one.
That was the first one.
Man, I think so. I think that's so dope, because most of us, and I'll say us, I mean, I got to throw myself in there too. Like, most of us, man, we go just looking for a venue. Can you just hire us? And the fact, first of all, and we gonna get into that in a little bit. First of all, you said that you had this vision, and then you sat down with your partner, like, yo, I think we could do something in here. And the fact that y'all wanted to go into it as a partnership with the business, as opposed to you just being hired by the business.
Correct.
It's like, yo, we want to go in this thing as a partnership. And I think that's a thing that a lot of musicians and artists miss. They want to go into a lot of these venues just as, hey, I think I got a dope band, give us money. And that's it. But it's like, no, when you're establishing yourself as a business, you have to handle yourself as such and say, yo, I want to go into this thing because that way the venue don't own you.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? You have a sense of ownership. You have a sense of ownership about yourself. You have a sense of control of what you do, what you don't do, what go in, what go out, stuff like that. And I think that's super dope that on your first go around. And about what year was that?
That was 2009. Yeah, because that's when I
You know what I'm saying? So about 2009, like, so since then, like, that was the start of where you're at. I think that's super dope. And I think that, like, that's something that a lot of musicians and artists should look at and be, and start doing for sure.
You can't be scared. And that's what I like to tell a lot of artists. What I do now, I work with a lot of corporate bands. So I'm able to meet a lot of young artists, a lot of young musicians that don't even know their artistry yet. And I just try to give them those gems because that was a learning curve for me. If you believe in yourself, even the slightest, you have to go 100%.
Yeah.
You won't cut corners with yourself if you're going 100%. All bets on me, all chips on me, because I know my talent and I know where I want to be with that talent. So that is a attitude that I've always had, and that's an attitude that I've always wanted to share with others. Like I know our first conversation, I was like, "What you do? What you into?" You know, but wow, I like that about you. Like I like to talk to artists that have something going on. Absolutely. I like to talk to musicians because all musicians don't deem themselves artists, but you know they still live in their musicianship. Yeah. So for the musicians too, you still gotta own that, coin who you are. Absolutely. And that's in all artistry, artisans across the board.